Howdy folks, it's me again. Today we're going to be tackling some of the new, well, I don't know, they're not really new anymore, but some of the tiles that are only on the second city because, I don't have videos on those. But before we go into that, I want to rant about something for a second. This tile. Because ever since the Monkey Knowledge update, I can't literally click on it anymore. And this has been bugging me for like days because a project I was doing when I was only got my city was to do like a square like thing with captured tiles, kind of like this, and I was planning on doing it with this corner as well, but I literally can't do that now. And honestly, I'll be blunt, that actually kind of ruined my day. It was that much of a downer, but yeah, I imagine it was just a minor oversight. I can see why anyone would miss this. I know like a monkey versus monkey will eventually land its way there, and I'll be able to do it. But God, I just want to do this tile even more now because I can't have it. Yes, I am that kind of person. See, man, I can even if when I do get it, it still won't let me do it. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff. Now, the key to Bloons Monkey City is to, the key to progressing far and in a decent amount of time is to do tiles that are going to give you an easy time. Like, doing a map like this is going to give you a hard time. Like, I'm probably going to spend, like, I don't know, at least 20 minutes on it just trying to figure out a way to beat it. I suck at this map. I can do it, but I suck at it. And most of the time, I just use a continue with the balloon stones because I don't feel like dealing with it. It's kind of like Minesweeper, these are like the mines. This map also isn't much better either. It's desert, but the two separate paths just make it annoying. You don't want to do that one. This is the map you want to do. It's easy, it's got a lot of length, plenty of loops, so your towers can hit multiple times. Engineers in favor so you can get cleansing foam much faster. So we're gonna do that map. I might do a more difficult map at a later date. It's just I really don't like doing the harder maps because they're difficult. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. Oh, and a little bug I want to talk about real fast. If you actually click the Cuddly Bear multiple times, it can actually give you lives multiple times. I think that's a bug that kind of got into its way with the Monkey Knowledge update because I never recalled being able to do that beforehand. But yeah, it's also something I wanted to point out. It's not like it could be that exploited anyway. I guess if you set up an auto clicker, you can get a whole bunch, but honestly, I don't think anyone's gonna really care about that. But hey, that's just me, right? I'm gonna set up the cleansing foam right away, get the 3-1 ninja right away, and it's just gonna start pretty hunky-dory. I'm assuming the Moab or Blimp or whatever you want to call it is gonna appear on round 6, based on the cash value of the tile. If the cash value is like 900 or higher, it might appear on round 5. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it does. If it's below that, you can assume it appears on round 6. It's important knowing when the blimp appears, so that way you can buy this and make sure you have some cash for spikes in case things get out of hand. Because there are a few times where it has come around sooner than I expected, and I kind of got screwed in the process for that. That wasn't fun. And it has cost me a few games, so like a good rule of thumb is to just assume it's going to come out around 5 just so we can repair everything beforehand, but you don't always have to. I just do that just so that way I can assure I don't lose and I don't have to retry. Like, the main goal here is to avoid having to do the same exact tile twice because I find that to be a time waster. Like, even on more difficult maps, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna give up and, well, I won't give up and use the balloon stones for a continue. I'm not gonna, like, restart from scratch. Like, I won't admit if I did restart from scratch, I'd probably do better, but I don't know, that takes time, and I'm lazy to do that, so yeah, Bloomstone to win. That's how I like it. Anyway, I'm assuming the mod will come out And it's so, oh, there it is. I mean, in some rare instances, the mob actually comes down around 7 on these kind of tiles. I mean, that doesn't happen pretty often, but it is a nice treat when that happens. Especially if you're like using farms or something, because you know that's like next round to use farms. Well, another thing you could do is actually get the village before you get the distraction and balloon jutsu, because you can actually still afford it and save a few bucks, but depending on how much cash the other rounds give you, that may or may not be doable. And if the mob comes out around 5, you especially don't want to get the village before the balloon jutsu, because that could really wind up screwing you. Unless it's on a tile that allows you to use farms in the early rounds, and you could probably still get away with it, but I don't know, I prefer not to play that risky. I prefer to just go with the stuff that works, you know what I mean? Like, this is working out just fine right now. Then again, this is one of the easier maps, so I mean, I guess it should be working out. Anyway, yeah, I should be set for a while against the single Moabs. Even like double Moabs, I'll probably still be fine against. Get the attack and range boost, because it does help this stuff out pretty nicely. The thing I like about the bottle rocket special item on the bomb towers, it increases range by like 10%, is that the range boost it gives is huge. I mean, look at this. It's got a huge radius. For a while, I actually didn't like that special item because I thought it increased speed. When I found out it didn't, I was disappointed. But honestly, I kind of like this alternative a bit more. It's actually grown on me. Not to mention, if I want the speed boost that bad, I'll just get the jungle drums in. Yeah, that does the job just as good. Oh yeah, in some of my earlier videos, you actually might have saw me using the Dartling guns a lot. Mostly because back in the closed beta of the game, like, Moabs came even sooner than round 6. Like, they came out in, like, round 3. It was crazy. And this was also before towers like the Ninja were buffed, so, I mean, they weren't as effective to use. And actually, maybe the Ninja could have been used back then, but it definitely wouldn't have been as effective as it is now, but yeah, I mean, it was bad to the point where I actually had to legitimately use that tower, and well, I got nothing against the Dartling gun. I'm just really not I just don't really like using it. I'm too lazy to like move the mouse around and do things. I prefer to let the towers do the things for me, because yeah, that's just who I am. So, you know, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm basically set strategy-wise. It's once you get like a regular strategy down, it'll tend to work on most maps. Like, but don't be afraid to improvise your strategy in case something unexpected happens, or you're playing a more difficult map, or the tile map you're playing on restricts certain towers that you normally use. So, well, it's good to have a consistent strategy to use, because there are consistent elements in the tiles that, you know, like, complement well with the strategies. Like, Moabs are only guaranteed to appear on like round 5 or 6. I've never seen one appear any round before that. If it did, that'd be pretty scary and interesting at the same time, actually. I would actually wouldn't mind saying that. Because also early round Moabs give a ton of cash, which is actually why I find them to be easier than like the mid-game tiles, like where the Moabs come out like round 10 or 11, because I get less cash in the late game, and that winds up screwing me more. Actually, that's why I ended up screwing a lot of people in the early builds of the game, and it still does for some people, because the difficulty leap from like ceramics to mobs is actually pretty huge, and it like escalates really fast. And then once you get to the later tiles, it kind of calms down, and you get more cash in the early rounds, stuff like that. So it's pretty, like, I also find it to be kind of balanced there, but man, minigame tiles are just brutal. I mean, I find it to be the most difficult in the game. Like, a map like this, I could beat no problem, but if I were to, say, play this exact same map on, like, one of the more minigame tiles, like, one of the first few, like, DDT tiles, like the jump from BFB to DDT, I'd probably lose, because I just have a lack of cash, and unless I do some really weird stuff with my towers, I'm probably not going to win. Or if I'm allowed farms on the map, then, you know, I can just farm like crazy, and that will work just as well, but I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of talking about more of the early days of the game, because there's actually not as much to talk about right now. I mean, at this point, I'm basically set just I'd like to build up like 2 specters just because, and then spam the maulers, and I mean honestly this is all I really need at this point, so I'm basically good to go. So yeah, if you know what to do, you know how to hit the easy maps, you got a solid strategy down for those easy maps, you're gonna be making progress in this game in no time, I can promise you that. Like, I think we're like at the maybe a 10-minute mark right now. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I mean, compared to like a more difficult map where you're probably going to be spending more time thinking of like tower placement, where to place them, maybe even trying it again to get the better strategy down. Like, I prefer to avoid that entirely. I mean, I'm not disrespecting anyone that does go either way to do the more difficult tiles. Like, maybe they're doing it so it avoids appearing on a monkey versus monkey, which is understandable. Honestly, I just deal with it on the monkey versus monkey. I actually find those maps to be easier on the attack tiles things for some reason. Probably because I still get a decent amount of cash, but the blimps come later, so I can be a bit more flexible. I mean, who knows? I don't know, my mindset with this game is kind of weird at times. Sometimes I just think to myself, wait, why am I doing this? How does that even work? Or why does that work? Or why am I not doing this instead? You know, just weird things here and there. Huh. Yeah, I'm actually kind of at a loss to say. Yeah, because I could talk about a little bit what I'm going to do for my next video, which you might see today of this uploading, or maybe tomorrow, depending on how fast these videos upload, but I'll probably be doing a review of the monkey knowledge update, like, or just, like, talking about the monkey knowledge upgrades that, like, really stick out to me, like, the ones I'm going to find to be really useful. And yes, for this tile I am using some of the monkey knowledge. I would have preferred to have like disabled them beforehand to make strategies more consistent, but there's no option like that right now, so sorry about that. But I mean, honestly, this map's really easy in general. Chances are you don't really need the monkey knowledge to follow this strategy. Of course, then again, you might not be able to follow this strategy at all because each tile is randomized. Like, even if you did this exact same map with the exact blimp setup with the exact cash value, the RNG can still make the early rounds entirely different in terms of like regular balloons. Like, you might get more ceramics added in the early round that can wind up messing you up, you know, all that kind of stuff. But like just like I said, keep your strategies consistent, but don't be afraid to improvise in case things take a turn for the nasty. That's all I can say about it. I mean, that's like one of the really important things to know about it in this game. And with that, I basically beat the tile. Nothing too difficult. So, it is satisfying to beat those easy tiles. Ah, darn, no monkey knowledge pack. Oh well. Alrighty, I'll see you folks at the next video.